I always thought my 40th birthday would feel different, not because of the number itself, but because I imagined by now my family would finally see me as something more than their perpetual disappointment. I was wrong. My name is Martina, and I'm watching my younger sister Zariah adjust her designer dress for the fifth time in 10 minutes at what's supposed to be my birthday dinner. The restaurant's private dining room sparkles with elegant lighting that I carefully selected, though my mother's already taken credit for it twice. Darling, the Chateau Margaux was an inspired choice, my mother Phoebe coos, patting Zariah's hand. I knew you'd pick the perfect wine for your sister's birthday. I bite back a smile. I'd ordered and paid for the wine last week, but what's one more little lie in our family's grand tapestry of delusions? My son Cole shifts uncomfortably beside me. At 17, he's already taller than everyone at the table, but somehow my family still manages to look down on him. He catches my eye and gives me a small smile, the kind that says, he's okay, even when we both know he isn't. So, Martina, my father Gordon clears his throat. Still doing that marketing thing? Before I can answer, Zariah's husband Moses chimes in. Actually, I've been meaning to pick your brain about some social media strategies for my startup. I'd be happy to. Oh, but first, Zariah interrupts, standing up with a champagne flute in hand. I have the most wonderful news to share on this special occasion. My stomach tightens. I know that tone. It's the same one she used when she announced her engagement at my housewarming party. Moses and I. She pauses for dramatic effect, her hand drifting to her stomach. We're expecting. The table erupts in excitement. My mother actually cries. My father beams with pride I've never seen directed at me or Cole. Finally, Zariah continues, her voice dripping with honey coated venom. Mom and Dad will get a real grandchild. No offense, Cole, but blood is blood, right? The room goes silent. Cole's fork clatters against his plate. Zariah, I say quietly, but she's not done. Oh, don't be sensitive, Martina. We all know adoption is noble, but this will be different. Speaking of which, Mom and Dad have already set up a college fund for the baby. Isn't that wonderful? My mother nods enthusiastically. We want to ensure our grandchild has every advantage. What about Cole's college fund? I ask, though I already know the answer. Well, my mother shifts in her seat. You understand, dear. This is different. This is family. Cole stands up abruptly. May I be excused? Of course, honey, I say, squeezing his hand as he passes. Oh, look what you've done now. Zariah sighs. He's so sensitive. Maybe it's genetic. Do you know anything about his real parents? Something inside me snaps. Not violently, but with the quiet precision of a surgeon's scalpel. I've spent years building toward this moment, waiting for exactly this kind of provocation. I stand, raising my glass. And speaking of legacies. Oh, let me toast first, Moses interrupts, jumping to his feet. To family, to new beginnings, and to my beautiful wife who's giving us all the greatest gift. Everyone raises their glasses except me. I remain standing, a small smile playing on my lips. It's time you all learned the truth, I begin. But Zariah's already talking over me, launching into some story about morning sickness and nursery colors. My mother's hanging on every word, and my father's nodding along like it's the most fascinating thing he's ever heard. I sit back down, letting them have their moment. After all, I've waited years for my revenge. I can wait one more day. My phone buzzes with a text from Sylvia, my attorney. Everything's in place. Are you sure you want to do this? I look around the table, at my sister's smug smile, my mother's practiced elegance, my father's willing blindness. Then I think of Cole, probably hiding in the restaurant's bathroom, hurt once again by the family that should have embraced him. I type back, absolutely. Time to show them what a real Evans legacy looks like. The waiter appears with dessert, a beautiful chocolate cake I ordered. But of course, Zariah's already telling everyone how she specially requested it from the chef. I smile and take a bite. It tastes like victory. The morning after my ruined birthday dinner, I sit across from Sylvia at our favorite coffee shop, watching her methodically stir honey into her tea. She's been my attorney for years, but more importantly, she's the only person who knows everything. So, they really did it, she says. They actually hijacked your birthday to announce the pregnancy and insulted my son. Again. I wrap my hands around my coffee mug. You should have seen Cole's face, Sylvia. It brought me right back to the day I adopted him. Tell me you're finally ready to pull the trigger on this. I nod, remembering that day 7 years ago. I just finalized Cole's adoption after my divorce and years of failed IVF treatments. My mother's first words when I brought him home: "Couldn't you at least have found one that looks more like us?" Sylvia snaps me out of the memory. I've arranged the brunch reservation for tomorrow. Your family thinks you called it to apologize, right? Of course they do. My mother already texted that she's glad I've come to my senses. My phone buzzes. Speaking of the devil. Darling, my mother's voice drips through the speaker. I hope you're not still upset about last night. You know how Zariah gets excited. Actually, Mom, I wanted to discuss Cole's future at brunch tomorrow. Oh, her disappointment is palpable. I thought we were past this. You know your father and I need to focus our resources on Zariah's baby now. Trust me, I understand perfectly. See you at 11. I hang up and look at Sylvia. Ready to help me drop the first bomb? The next day, I arrive at the restaurant early to set everything up. My family filters in one by one. Zariah already sporting a barely there bump in a tight dress, Moses trailing behind her like a lost puppy, my parents looking prepared for battle. Before anyone says anything, I begin once we're seated. I want to show you something. I pull out an envelope and slide it across the table. "What's this?" my mother asks, not reaching for it. "Open it." Inside is a statement from Cole's college fund, the one I set up 5 years ago. The balance reads $250,000. My father's eyes widen. "This is impossible?" I finish for him. "Because I'm just a marketing manager?" Zariah snatches the paper. "That can't be real. Where would you get that kind of money?" "I earned it, every penny." "From your little marketing job?" Zariah scoffs. I simply smile. "You'd be surprised what I'm capable of." "Well," my mother interjects, clearly flustered, "that's nice, but it's not quite the same as family money, is it? Our contribution to Zariah's baby will come with generations of history." I cut her off. "Legacy? Blood?" Something in my tone makes her pause. "You're always so obsessed with bloodlines, Mom. Always so concerned about what makes a real family member. I've often wondered why." The color drains from her face. "Martina," my father warns, but I'm already standing. "Enjoy your brunch. The bill's been taken care of. Oh, and Zariah, congratulations again on the baby. I hope it inherits your talent for perfect timing." I walk out, leaving them with the statement and their confusion. As I reach my car, my phone pings with a text from my building's security. "Package delivered to your apartment as requested, Ms. Evans." When I get home, there's a manila envelope waiting. No return address, just my name in careful handwriting. Inside are letters, dozens of them, yellowed with age but perfectly preserved. They're all addressed to one person, Garrett Carter. The first one begins: "My dearest Garrett, I know we agreed to keep this quiet, but I can't bear the thought of giving up our baby." My mother's handwriting, dated exactly 40 years ago. I sink into my couch, letters scattered around me when Cole comes home from his art class. "Mom, are you okay?" I look up at my beautiful, kind son, the boy they've rejected for not being real family, and feel a surge of protective rage. "I'm perfect, honey. How would you like to help me plan a little surprise for your aunt's baby shower next month?" "Really?" He looks skeptical. "After what they said?" "Oh, yes." I pick up one of the letters. "I think it's time for a family reunion. A real one." My phone buzzes again. Sylvia. "Just got confirmation. The trust becomes public in 30 days unless sealed by family agreement." Perfect timing indeed. I text back. Let the countdown begin. "You knew Garrett Carter?" I ask Oscar, watching his face carefully across the dimly lit bar. The elderly man nods slowly, nursing his scotch. "Knew him? I was his best friend for 30 years. Right up until the cancer took him last month." Sylvia sits beside me, taking notes. This meeting took weeks to arrange. Oscar isn't an easy man to find. "And you're sure about my mother?" I press. "Oh, yes." He pulls out his phone, scrolling through old photos. "Here, summer of 1983. That's Garrett and that's your mother, Phoebe. They were close. The photo shows them at some garden party. My mother looks young, radiant, leaning into Garrett's shoulder. The way she's looking at him, I've never seen that expression on her face before. The affair lasted almost 2 years, Oscar continues, ended when she got pregnant. Sylvia's pen stops moving. Pregnant? Garrett wanted to leave his wife, do the right thing. But Phoebe, well, she had her reputation to think about. She was already married to Gordon by then. My hands start shaking. What happened to the baby? Given up for adoption, closed records. Garrett never forgave himself for letting it happen. He spent years trying to track the child down. And did he? Oscar's eyes meet mine. Yes, about 10 years ago. But by then, the child had their own family. He didn't want to disrupt their life. That's why he set up the trust, Sylvia interjects. Exactly. He knew he was dying. Wanted to make things right, but quietly. The trust was his way of ensuring his biological grandchild would be taken care of. My head spins. Cole. He knew about Cole. Oscar nods. He kept tabs on you both. Was proud when you adopted him. Said it showed character. Why didn't he ever reach out? He respected your boundaries, but he made sure the trust would find its way to Cole. Unless. Unless what? Unless the family seals it legally within 30 days of his death. Then it all stays quiet, and the money transfers privately. My phone buzzes, a text from Zariah. Mom's acting weird since brunch. What did you say to her? I ignore it. Oscar, I say carefully, I need you to tell me everything about Garrett's company, the tech startup he invested in. Howard Innovations. That was his pride and joy. He owned 40% under a shell corporation. The rest is split between Trevor Howard and some silent partner nobody's ever met. They're going public next month. Sylvia's eyes widen. She knows exactly who that silent partner is. I stand up. Thank you, Oscar. You've been incredibly helpful. Back in Sylvia's office, she pulls up the trust documents. It's all here, she says. Garrett made you the trustee. Cole gets everything: the trust, the shares, the family history, unless your mother and father sign to keep it quiet. And if they don't, it becomes public record. Everyone will know about the affair, the adoption, everything. My phone rings. It's my mother. Martina, she sounds panicked. We need to talk. I got a call from Garrett Carter's estate lawyer. Did you? How interesting. This isn't funny. There are things you don't understand. Actually, Mom, I understand perfectly. How about we discuss it at Zariah's baby shower? I hear you're planning quite the event. You wouldn't dare. Wouldn't I? You've spent years making Cole feel like he doesn't belong, like he's not real family, but he's more family than you ever knew. Silence on the line. By the way, I add, I'm bringing a guest to the shower. Trevor Howard, from Howard Innovations? We have some business to discuss. I hang up before she can respond. Sylvia looks at me with concern. Are you sure about this? Once it starts? I'm sure. I pull out the old photo of my mother and Garrett. They wanted a real Evans legacy? Well, they're about to get one. My phone pings with another text, this time from an unknown number. Ms. Evans, this is Trevor Howard. Oscar suggested we meet. I believe we have mutual interest to discuss. I show Sylvia the message. Looks like it's time to go public with my shares, too. Your mother's going to have a heart attack when she realizes you own 30% of Howard Innovations. No, I smile. She's going to have a heart attack when she realizes her grandson is about to inherit controlling interest in her dead lover's company. I text Trevor back. Let's meet tomorrow. I have a proposition about the IPO timing. Karma doesn't just happen, I've learned. Sometimes you have to carefully orchestrate it. Trevor Howard's office overlooks the city skyline, all glass and chrome and success. He stands as I enter, extending his hand with a knowing smile. The mysterious silent partner finally reveals herself. He says, I've been curious about you for years. Keeping my identity private was necessary, I reply, taking a seat. But circumstances have changed. Oscar filled me in. Trevor sits back down. Quite the family drama you're dealing with. Are you sure you want to go public now? The IPO is sensitive. I pull out my laptop, opening a presentation. Actually, I think the timing is perfect. Look at these numbers. For the next hour, we discuss strategy. Trevor's eyes light up as I outline my plan for the company's public launch. This is brilliant, he says finally, using the family connection to Garrett as part of our origin story. It adds humanity to our brand. The press will eat it up, especially when they learn about Cole's inheritance. Your mother won't take this well. That's counting on it. I pause. There's one more thing. I want Cole protected from the media storm. Already handled, a voice says from the doorway. Sylvia walks in, legal documents in hand. I've drafted everything. Cole's interests are secured, and the press release is carefully worded. My phone buzzes. It's Zariah's baby shower invitation, complete with professional photos of her cradling her barely visible bump. The caption reads, "A real blessing is coming to our family. Ours baby McDonald. Rar blood is bond." I show it to Trevor and Sylvia. Subtle, Sylvia snorts. Have you told Cole yet? Trevor asks quietly. Tonight, I say. He needs to know before everything breaks. Later that evening, I find Cole in his room working on an art project. His talents always reminded me of Garrett's sketches in those old photos. Honey, we need to talk. He looks up, paint smudged on his cheek. Is this about Aunt Zariah's post? I saw it. No, well, sort of. I sit on his bed. What do you know about Garrett Carter? The tech guy who died last month? It was all over the news. He was more than that. I take a deep breath. He was your biological grandfather. The paintbrush clatters to the floor. What? I explain everything: the affair, the adoption, the trust, the company. Cole listens in stunned silence. So, all this time, when they were treating me like I wasn't real family, you were more family than they knew. I squeeze his hand. But, honey, that's not what makes you family. You're my son because I chose you, because I love you. DNA is just science. Does Aunt Zariah know? Not yet, but she will. Everyone will soon. I wanted you to hear it from me first. He's quiet for a long moment. Is that why you've been meeting with lawyers? Partly. The company's going public next month. I own a significant portion of it. His eyes widen. Wait, what? Remember that investment I made years ago? The one your grandmother called foolish? Holy shit, Mom. Language, I say automatically, but I'm smiling. My phone pings. It's a social media notification. Zariah's posted again. Some parents adopt to fill a hole in their lives, but nothing compares to carrying your own flesh and blood. Blessed Mama. Real family. Cole reads it over my shoulder and stiffens. I type quickly. Bloodlines are more complicated than you think. Truth coming. Mom, Cole grabs my arm. Did you just. Sometimes you have to fight fire with fire. I close my phone. Are you okay with all this? We can still stop it. He looks at the painting he's working on, an abstract piece full of interweaving lines and connections. No, he says finally. They've had this coming. Just promise you won't let them make me into some kind of media circus. Already handled. You're protected, honey. Always. My phone rings. It's my mother again. I silence it. What happens next? Cole asks. Now we wait. The baby shower's in 2 weeks. That's when everything changes. Can I come? Are you sure you want to? He grins, and for a moment I see Garrett's smile in his face. Wouldn't miss it for the world. Another notification pops up. Zariah's started digging, posting old family photos, and talking about pure bloodlines. I text Sylvia. She's taking the bait. Start the legal proceedings. The response comes quickly. Already done. The trust disclosure countdown begins now. Your mother has 14 days to seal it, or everything goes public. I look at Cole, still working on his painting, and feel a fierce pride. They wanted a real Evans legacy. They're about to get more truth than they can handle. Mom's been calling nonstop, Zariah announces, barging into my office without knocking. What did you do? I look up from my laptop, where I'm reviewing Trevor's final press release. I'm working, Zariah. You should have made an appointment. Cut the crap. Why is Mom freaking out about Garrett Carter's estate? You should ask her that question. She slams her hands on my desk. I did some digging, found some interesting papers in Dad's study. Care to explain why there are letters from Garrett to Mom from 40 years ago? Fascinating. I close my laptop. Did you read them? Enough to know something's very wrong. Mom's hysterical, talking about trusts and deadlines. 13 days, I say calmly. That's how long she has to make a decision. About what? About whether she wants to keep her perfect family image intact. Zariah's face flushes. Is this about Cole? Are you still bitter about what I said at your birthday? No, this is about truth. Something our family's never been very good at. My phone buzzes. Trevor calling. I answer on speaker just to watch Zariah's reaction. Martina, the board approved your proposal. We're ready to announce you as executive partner next week. Zariah's jaw drops. Perfect timing, Trevor. I'll see you at the gala. After I hang up, Zariah sinks into a chair. You you work with Trevor Howard? But that's Garrett's company. Actually, I own 30% of it. Have for years. That's impossible. You're just a marketing manager. That's what mom and dad always said too. It's amazing how much you can accomplish when no one's paying attention. She stands abruptly. I'm telling mom. Go ahead. While you're at it, ask her about the summer of 1983. Ask her why she's so obsessed with bloodlines and real family. Zariah freezes. What are you talking about? 13 days, sis. That's how long before everyone knows exactly what I'm talking about. After she leaves, I call Cole's school. He's been quiet since learning about Garrett. He's in art class, the secretary says. Want me to get him? No, just checking in. How's he doing? Actually, his art teacher wanted to speak with you. Cole submitted a piece for the state competition. It's intense, about family and identity. I smile. Tell him I'm proud of him. That evening, Cole shows me the piece, a massive canvas covered in intertwining family trees, DNA helixes, and shadowy figures. At the center, a small boy stands alone, surrounded by newspaper clippings about Garrett Carter. It's beautiful, I whisper. I called it blood and water, he says, because sometimes the family you choose is stronger than the family you're born with. My phone pings with multiple messages. Mom, please, we need to talk. Don't do this. Zariah, what did you tell Moses? He's asking about the company shares. Trevor, press release ready, waiting for your green light. Sylvia, legal documents prepared. Your mother's lawyer reached out. They're panicking, Cole observes. Good, they should be. Aunt Zariah posted again. He shows me his phone. The post shows her ultrasound photo with the caption, "Some people can't handle that real family is about shared DNA and precious bloodlines. So blessed to be giving my parents the grandchild they always wanted." No substitutes. I start typing a response, but Cole stops me. Wait, he says, pulling out his sketchbook. Let me post something first. He photographs his competition piece and posts it with a simple caption. Art runs in the family. Just ask my grandfather. Garrett Carter legacy. Within minutes, Zariah calls. Take that down, she shrieks. What are you talking about? Garrett Carter isn't what? I interrupt. Family? Are you sure about that? Mom's crying. Dad's locked himself in his study. What have you done? I haven't done anything yet, but in 13 days, everyone will know exactly what kind of family we really are. The baby shower's in 12 days, she says quietly. I know. After she hangs up, Cole looks at me. Are you really going to do it? Expose everything at the shower? Only if they force my hand. They have 13 days to make it right, to acknowledge you, to apologize, to sign the privacy agreement. And if they don't? I look at his artwork again, all those tangled lines of heritage and choice. Then we show the world what a real Evans legacy looks like. My phone buzzes one more time. It's Trevor. Media's starting to sniff around. Rumors about Garrett's heir are spreading. Ready when you are. I text back. 13 days. Then we tell them everything. The baby shower venue sparkles with pink and gold decorations. Zariah's gone all out. Crystal champagne flutes, custom flower arrangements, and a professional photographer documenting every moment. A banner reads, "A real blessing is coming," in elegant script. I arrive exactly on time, wearing a carefully chosen navy blue dress. Cole insisted on coming, looking sharp in his suit. Ready? I whisper. He nods. Born ready. My mother spots us first. She's aged 10 years and 2 weeks, her perfectly maintained facade showing cracks. Martina! She hisses, grabbing my arm. Please tell me you're not going through with this. I've been trying to reach you. 12 days of calls, Mom. Not once did you say, I'm sorry. Zariah floats over in a pink maternity gown that probably cost more than most people's monthly rent. You actually came, she says, eyeing Cole suspiciously. And you brought him. Wouldn't miss it, Cole replies smoothly. Family is everything, right? Moses appears with champagne. Everyone! Time for the gender reveal. The guests gather around a ridiculous display of cannons. My father stands in the corner, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. Before we start, I announce, raising my voice slightly, I have some news to share. Martina, my mother warns, I've recently accepted a new position. I pull out my phone, showing the press release Trevor sent this morning. Executive partner at Howard Innovations. The room goes silent. Zariah's face drains of color. That's that's Garrett's company, she stammers. Was Garrett's company? I correct. Now it's partially mine. Has been for years, actually. My mother sways slightly. Stop this. Why, Mom? Afraid of what else I might say? About summer romances and secret babies? What is she talking about? One of the guests whispers loudly. Nothing, Zariah shrieks. She's trying to ruin my special day. Again, actually, Cole steps forward. I think she's just telling the truth. About family, about legacy. He turns to my mother. About my grandfather. The photographer's camera clicks rapidly. Perfect. Security! Moses calls out. Remove them. Oh, I wouldn't do that, I smile. The press conference downstairs might find that interesting. What press conference? My father finally speaks. The one announcing Howard Innovations' new leadership and interesting family connections. Trevor's waiting for my signal. My mother grabs my arm again. Please, we can talk about this privately. Like you talked about Garrett privately? For 40 years? What about Garrett? Someone asks. Zariah lunges for the gender reveal cannon. Everyone look here, it's time to. Your mother had an affair with Garrett Carter, I announce clearly. Got pregnant, gave the baby up for adoption, and now, 40 years later, she's still obsessed with real family and pure bloodlines. The cannon goes off accidentally in Zariah's hands, spraying pink confetti everywhere as chaos erupts. You're lying, she screams. Am I? Ask Mom. Ask her why Garrett left everything in trust for Cole. Ask her why she's been having panic attacks since his lawyers called. My father walks out without a word. The photographer is practically dancing with joy at capturing all this. Get out! Zariah throws her champagne glass. It shatters against the wall. Get out of my shower. Gladly. I turn to leave, then pause. Oh, and Mom? You have 24 hours left to sign those papers. Otherwise, tomorrow's headlines will be very interesting. You'd destroy this family? She whispers. No, Mom. You did that 40 years ago when you chose image over love. I'm just bringing it into the light. Cole takes my arm as we walk out. Behind us, we can hear Zariah having a full meltdown, guests murmuring in shocked clusters. In the lobby, Trevor waits with Sylvia. Ready? He asks. Almost. I check my phone. Someone's already posted about the shower drama on social media. Mom has one more chance to do the right thing. And if she doesn't? I look at Cole, who's standing tall despite everything. Then tomorrow, everyone learns what a real Evans legacy looks like. My phone buzzes, a text from my father. I found the letters, all of them. We need to talk. Looks like someone's finally ready for the truth. I show Cole the message. Better late than never, he says, then grins. By the way, I'm glad it's a girl. Why's that? Because pink confetti looks great in security footage. We all laugh as we exit the building, leaving behind the sound of Zariah's wails and my mother's sobs. Sometimes karma needs a little push, but once it starts rolling, it's unstoppable. The Howard Innovations Gala glitters with success and anticipation. Every major tech publication has a reporter here, all waiting for my speech. Through the crowd, I spot my father standing alone by the bar. I didn't think you'd come, I say, approaching him. Had to see it for myself. He looks older, defeated. Your mother signed the papers this morning. I know. Sylvia called. Why didn't you tell me about Garrett, about the company, about any of it? Would you have believed me? Over Mom? Over Zariah? He stares into his scotch. I found her old diary, read about that summer, about the baby she gave up. He looks up, about how she's spent 40 years punishing herself by becoming this, and punishing me and Cole. I'm sorry. The words sound rusty, unpracticed. I should have protected you both. Trevor appears at my elbow. It's time. I straighten my dress and head for the podium. The room falls silent as I take the stage, hundreds of eyes fixed on me. Good evening. My name is Martina Evans, and I have a story to tell you about legacy. Camera flashes pop like stars. 17 years ago, I made two decisions that changed my life. I invested in a small startup called Howard Innovations, and I adopted a wonderful boy named Cole. In the front row, Cole beams. Beside him, Sylvia nods encouragingly. Both choices were criticized by people who thought they knew better, who thought success and family could only look one way. They were wrong. I see my father lean forward. Today, Howard Innovations is valued at over $2 billion. My initial investment grew into a 30% ownership stake, but that's not the most interesting part of this story. The reporters lean in. The late Garrett Carter, our company's founding investor, left something more valuable than shares. He left truth. And tonight, with my family's agreement, I'm sharing that truth. My phone buzzes. Zariah, don't you dare. I continue. Garrett was more than a business partner. He was family, my mother's secret love, decades ago, which makes him Cole's biological grandfather. The room erupts in whispers. But legacy isn't just about DNA, it's about choices. Garrett chose to protect his grandson's future through a trust. I chose Cole as my son. And today we're choosing to honor both kinds of family by establishing the Cole Foundation. More camera flashes. This foundation will support adoptive families and fund tech education for underprivileged youth because real legacy isn't about bloodlines, it's about what we build together. The applause is deafening. Cole joins me on stage as reporters shout questions. Ms. Evans, did your mother know about the trust? Cole, how does it feel to be Garrett Carter's heir? What about your sister's claims about real family? I raise my hand for quiet. One last thing. Starting tomorrow, I'm stepping into the role of CEO. Trevor Howard will remain as Chief Innovation Officer, and Cole will join our Youth Advisory Board. More questions explode, but I'm watching my father. He's crying. Later, at the after party, Sylvia hands me my phone. Your mother's called 6 times. Zariah's having contractions. Stress induced, I say. She's only 7 months along. They're at Metropolitan Hospital. Your father asked if you'd come. I look at Cole, who's charming a group of tech journalists with his artwork. What do you think, honey? Should we go? He joins us. Up to you, Mom. But maybe it's time for healing? At the hospital, we find my mother pacing outside Zariah's room. The baby's fine, she says quickly. False alarm. Good. I watched your speech. Online. She wrings her hands. You were magnificent. Thanks. Garrett would have been proud. Of both of you. She turns to Cole. I'm sorry. For everything. Actions speak louder than words, Grandma. She flinches at the title, then slowly nods. Zariah's door opens. She looks small in the hospital bed, makeup streaked with tears. I saw the speech too, she says quietly. Did you mean it? About healing? The Foundation's first grant is ready, I reply, if you're interested in being part of something real. She nods, then looks at Cole. I'm sorry, nephew. I've been awful. Water under the bridge, he says, but I expect my cousin to be nicer. For the first time in years, Zariah laughs genuinely. My phone buzzes one last time. Trevor. Stock's up 30% in after hours trading. The truth sells. I show Cole the message. Not bad for a marketing manager, he grins. Not bad for an adopted kid, I reply. We leave the hospital room knowing nothing will ever be the same. But maybe, just maybe, it'll be better. The autumn breeze carries the sound of laughter from Cole's graduation party in our backyard. He's surrounded by friends, family, and a few business associates, all celebrating his early acceptance to art school and his first successful exhibit at the Howard Innovations Gallery. Your son's piece sold for 20,000, Trevor says, joining me by the grill. Not bad for a high school senior. The talent runs in the family, my mother adds quietly. She's been trying, actually trying, these past few months. Zariah waddles over, her baby daughter asleep in a carrier. Did you see the article about Cole in Tech Weekly? Young heir combines art and innovation. He hates that word. Heir. I flip a burger. Says it sounds pretentious. Better than what I used to call him, Zariah admits. I was such a. Yes, you were. I hand her a plate, but so was I in the end. Revenge can make monsters of us all. Speaking of revenge, Sylvia approaches with her tablet. Moses finally signed the divorce papers. Turns out embezzling from your parents' accounts wasn't his smartest move. Zariah bounces her daughter gently. Best mistake I ever caught him making. Forced me to stand on my own feet. How's the foundation work going? My father asks, appearing with fresh drinks. Ask your grandson. I nod toward Cole, who's showing his latest sketches to a group of investors. He's running the youth program now. Never thought I'd say this, Zariah muses. But he's better at business than I ever was. Must be the Carter genes. Must be the good parenting. My mother corrects herself. Progress. Cole waves me over to his group. As I approach, I hear him explaining his latest project. It's a mentorship program, he's saying, connecting adopted kids with opportunities in tech and art, because family isn't about where you come from, it's about where you choose to go. And who chooses you? I add, squeezing his shoulder. The investors nod appreciatively. One pulls out a checkbook. Later, as the party winds down, I find my mother sitting alone by the koi pond Garrett had loved so much. Penny for your thoughts? I was just remembering, she says, how Garrett used to sketch these fish. Cole has his exact style. You could have told me, about him, about everything. I was ashamed, not of him, of myself, for choosing status over love, for spending decades punishing everyone else for my choices, including yourself, especially myself. She watches the fish swim, but seeing Cole, he's everything Garrett would have wanted in a grandson, everything I should have wanted in a grandchild from the start. It's never too late to start again. No, she smiles sadly, but it's always exactly on time. Zariah joins us, daughter stirring. Mind if I sit? These pregnancy feet aren't what they used to be. Getting soft in your old age, I tease. Getting wise in my new one. She adjusts the baby. You know, I always thought I needed to be better than you. Turns out I just needed to be better than myself. Cole appears with cake. Anyone hungry? The investors loved the foundation pitch, by the way. Full funding for the next 3 years. That's my nephew, Zariah beams. The artist entrepreneur. Just don't call me heir apparent, he groans. How about grandson? My mother offers tentatively. That works. He sits between us. Mom, I found something interesting in Grandpa Garrett's old journals. Want to see? He pulls out his phone, shows us a sketch dated 40 years ago. It's my mother, young and laughing by this very pond. He never stopped loving you, Cole tells my mother, but he would have been proud of how this all turned out. How do you figure? Because now we're all exactly who we're supposed to be. No pretense, no perfect family facade, just us. My phone buzzes. Trevor, with tomorrow's press release, Howard Innovations Youth Foundation expands nationwide. I show it to everyone. Speaking of legacy, speaking of karma, Zariah corrects, smiling at her daughter, sometimes it comes with a champagne glass. And sometimes, I finish, it comes with the truth. The koi swim peaceful circles as the sunset paints the sky. My mother reaches for Cole's hand, then mine. Zariah leans against my shoulder, her daughter cooing softly. This is family, messy, complicated, chosen, and born, built from broken pieces into something stronger than perfection. More cake? Cole offers. Always, we answer in unison and laugh together under the darkening sky.